All right. We are live on YouTube, ladies. I just need the video to connect on the other screen so that I can grab that link and put it in our group so that our community can conveniently just use it to hop on to the YouTube live and get into the live chat and participate with us this morning because everybody in the community is not in studio like Teray and Shawana and Debbie and Dr. LaFera and Cheryl, Dr. Tachi and Dr. Toya. All right, connect up YouTube and please just go and give me this link so I don't have to wrestle with you because you know YouTube like the tussle. Look at that. Okay, YouTube, I see you doing your girl a solid. I appreciate you. All right. The link is now in the group. Speaking of groups, if you are a solopreneur or entrepreneur that is struggling to get to your first six figures in business, you should be in the group. Go to shaycannon.info/group. It is for you, just for you. We have three pillars of value. Three. Number one, we actually come together and commune to build community. Number two, we collaborate to make our businesses better and make money together. And number three, we have transformational conversations for your business growth. You need to be there. You need to be there. shaycannon.info/group. All right, let me make sure I can see this chat and I can. Cool beans. Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures Morning Show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. Everything that we do around here revolves around a blog, and this week's blog is at shaycannon.com/CRM. Because what we are talking about this week is an introduction to customer relationship management, CRM. Okay. We talk about it a lot. We skip over it a lot. We say you need to do it. We say you need to have it. But we're going into depth about exactly what it is and why it's important this week. Because I want you to think about it like this. Leads are the lifeblood of your business, and you can't get new customers until they're first new leads. Okay. So we have to be able to organize these leads and to understand the type of organization that I'm talking about. I gave you some numbers, and that is if you want to hit a goal of six figures in a year, that's about 8,333, but we're going to say $8,400. All right. And so if you have an offer at $400, then you got to sell 21 of those things in a month to be on track to hit your revenue goal of six figures in a year. Now, you have to know your closing rate. So if you close 10% of the people you come in contact with, that means you need to come in contact with 210 people to make those 21 sales. How are you going to keep up those 210 people? Right? And that's if your closing rate is 10%. And that's if your ticket price is 400, right? So you can keep playing with those numbers, but that's a vast amount of people to keep up with. And that is the beauty of what your CRM system does. Okay. Now, if you want to know more about what it is and why it's important, then you can go to yesterday's replay, which is part one. CRM, what and why. Okay, today we're moving on and we're talking about CRM pipeline. Okay, the CRM pipeline. And we have a visual today. I have some visual snacks for y'all to take in today. But CRM pipeline, for a streamlined focus, we're going to concentrate on the key components or the pipes that are at the beginning of the pipeline. Okay, because your customer relationship management goes throughout the lifetime of your customer. We're only going to talk about this first part, okay? Because this is the part we really got to get right to have customers at all, okay? And that first part is attraction, capture, nurture, marketing, and sales, okay? So there are more pipes after conversion that create a full flow through a lifetime of your relationship after that first sale. These initial stages are crucial for laying the groundwork for a successful customer relationship. While the journey doesn't end there, we're just going to focus on those areas, okay? So after the conversion, additional pipelines continue to support and enhance the customer experience, fostering a long-term loyalty and growth, okay? So that is, I don't know why I keep doing that, why I don't hit enter for y'all. So that is the explanation of the pipeline, right? So think about it like this. The pipeline is attraction, capture, nurture, market, and sales. That is the pipeline. That's, if we're just going to talk about the pipeline by itself, then that's what it is. But as you know, on the morning show, you get more. Okay. So I need y'all to pay attention, because I have even put together a good little old, what we going to say, presentation for y'all. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Share my screen. Pet that dog. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. Here we go. Now, when you think about a pipeline, okay, these visuals, let me tell you, I sat down and I thought about the best visuals so that you can have in your head what you need to do. Okay, so keep that in mind. So most people, when they think about a pipeline, they think about one line, right? They're constructing one line and it may go over long distances, right? However, really what we're going to do is we're going to create a pipeline system. Okay, it's more than one pipe, and it doesn't just go in a straight line. Okay, so we're going to create a system. Now the problem is, some of y'all don't have no pipes. Okay, let's just be real. But some of y'all have one pipe and it look like this. It's clogged up, right? So you knew a little bit about marketing, and so you got people on your email list, and they just sitting there clogged up, just sitting in the pipe. Right? You're not moving along. There's no space for people to move along. You haven't maintained it, cleaned it, nurtured it, none of that. Okay. Now, some of y'all trying to do a little something, you know what I'm saying? You talk to your people every now and then or whatever, but guess what they're doing? They're leaking out, right? Because you don't really have a tight grasp on what this pipeline should be and what it should do. And so you might talk to some of the leads, but you don't get around to all of them. So what do? They just leak out, go away, right? So they don't stay on your list. They, you finally send an email and they like, who is this? And when did I unsubscribe? You know what I'm saying? So they're going on about their business. It's people that asked you for a proposal. You didn't get it to them. They going on about their business, right? It's people that you talked to about your offer, but because you scared to sell, you didn't close or you didn't follow up. They leaked right on out. All right. Now, what we're used to looking at is a funnel. That is the visual that we look at. And that visual is still key. Okay. But a funnel is not really talking about the individual flows that you're going to do. The funnel is just talking about the volume of people. Okay. All the funnel is showing us is that at the top is a whole bunch of people, right? In the middle is fewer people than that came in at the top. And at the bottom is the fewest number of people at all. Okay. Now, if you did the organic marketing workshop, then we got top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Tofu, Mofu, Bofu. Tofu are the people that you have been introduced to and you've given them an invitation to continue the conversation. Okay. Mofu are the people that took you up on that invitation and you have captured them into some type of system so that you can then continue to nurture them and continue the conversation. All right. Bofu means you've done all the other parts and now they're ready to buy from you. Why? Because they like, know, and trust you. Okay. So that's we're going to say the simple version of Tofu, Mofu, Bofu. I call these the Foo Fighters. But again, you need our organic marketing workshop. Go to shaycannon.com/organic to understand this better. Okay. But we're going to go with this simplified version of it. Now, getting back to our pipes. This is really kind of how our pipes should look, right? So yeah, it goes in all kind of different ways or whatever, but we should have tags and segmentation. Okay. So if we were to say Tofu, Mofu, Bofu, here are 3 different pipe systems. So the water or whatever we're flowing through there should flow differently, right? Because it's 3 different types of things happening, 3 different types of objections, 3 different types of viewpoints and how they like, know, or trust us. Okay. So this is where your email segmentation comes in. This is where your tags help you to segment and all that inside of your email marketing system. All right. Now, if you go to shaycannon.com/tags, we had a whole conversation, a whole week on email segmentation. So go there and check it out. Okay. Now, let's start to build our pipeline because we're going to go pipe by pipe. All right. The first pipe is our tofu. People that we have been introduced to and we've given them an invitation, okay, to continue the conversation with us. Now, what does that look like? That looks like lead magnets. That looks like when y'all are out here giving free consults or strategy sessions, free strategy sessions, or the free discovery calls, right? That looks like DM me. Some of y'all are using mini chat or know about it. If you don't know what it is, it's when people give you content and they say, hey, put the word so-and-so in the comments if you would like. Okay, so all that is a DM strategy to get them on your list or in your DMs, right? Then we have networking, okay? A lot of y'all go to networking events and all of that. Sometimes that's how you're introduced and you give an invitation. And then we have tripwires. Tripwires are offers that are pretty much, we see the value in it, but there's no risk because the cost of it is so minimal as compared to the value. So yes, it could be something that's 99 cents, $1. It could be something $7, $27, $97. It depends on what the value is for it to actually be labeled a tripwire. Okay. All right. So that's our tofu. So we built our first pipe. Okay. Now we're going to add another pipe, our Mofu. Okay. So they have taken us up on the invitation. And so now we have captured them and we have to nurture them. Okay, so they may have taken up your invitation to follow you on social media, right? So you still, even though some people forget that social media is still a way that you're nurturing people, just because it's one of those early steps, right? You still want to get them off of social media and into other places that you control, but somebody following you on social media is still an opportunity for you to do Mofu. Right? So I have people that are my friend on Facebook that are not in my Facebook group, but they still get some kind of value from me, right? So they're still being nurtured in a way. Then you have groups. Then you have email lists. And when I say email lists, I'm talking about in your marketing, your email marketing platforms, right? Where they have opted in and now you can email them. That's what I mean by email lists. You have some that might have opted into text, so they're receiving text messages. You got to go back to where the people were opted into your DMs, so now they're receiving DM messages. But you can also have those, mainly like the ones that you have networked with in person. It is illegal to just put these people on your email list. I don't care if they gave you a business card. It is illegal for you to take their email address and just put it on your email list in your email marketing system. It is illegal for you to take their phone number off of their card and put them in a text thing, okay? It is not illegal, but it's uncouth as hell to just start DMing them stuff, okay? So what you can do is start by giving them direct emails where you're talking to just them from like your domain email, right? For example, mine is info@shaycannon.com. So I can start the conversation there, get them to click a link and opt in to the actual email list with my email marketing, okay? But this is Mofu. I am now continuing the conversation, which has the objective of nurturing them, okay? So now I got 2 pipes in my pipeline, all right? Now, the simplified version of Mofu is I'm adding more pipes, right? And they are, twisting and turning because, the people that are ready to buy might not go straight to my main offer. They might buy the tripwire. They might buy a down sell. They might buy the main offer. Some might do the upsell. So they might flow through the pipe and just go from the lowest to the highest, right? Some of them might skip and, go to other places, but we're just going to say this is a very basic pipeline, right? Now, I want to give you an example, okay? So I think the blog post where you can look at upsells, downsells, and all of that is shaycannon.com/sales. I'm not sure, but if you go to my website and you search, let's say downsell, that blog post should pop up, okay? Because what we're doing today is we're pulling together a whole bunch of conversations we've already had, right? We've already gone into depths in some of these parts, and now we're putting them together as we're talking about your customer relationship management. Because I feel like a lot of you don't understand how these pieces fit together, okay? Now, again, this Bofu, this is a very basic way, but it don't always happen like that. So let me give you an example of a pipeline, okay? Here you go, okay? Tofu, they came in with a quiz, right? Mofu is now they get their quiz results, but now there's an email sequence that happens after that where you're nurturing. right? Then you may give them another invite to come into your group where they get nurtured differently, right? And then because they're in the group, you sell them on some type of training, right? They get that training and then they get more emails, okay? Then you might invite them to a sales event. And at that sales event, you pitch your main offer and then they buy it. And after they have gotten results from your main offer, you might upsell them. This is a pipeline. Okay. And all along the way, you're managing the people in these different pipes differently. Okay. So, how I want you to see your CRM system is like this. You have a city, right? You got a whole pipeline, you have a city. But what the CRM system allows you to do with this city is pinpoint one person that is in one place in the city. Okay. Because that pipeline and the group thinking of where groups are in the pipeline is one thing. But when we start talking about that personalized communication that we have brought up time and time again, you need to know who the one person is and where they are in your pipeline and where you need to push them to. Okay? That is the beauty of it. That is really how we personalize. That's how we go in and we go from a group and go to the individuals in the group to move them along the pipeline. I was hoping Heather was going to be here today, but I know she won't care. So Heather is in my pipeline, right? What I know from my CRM system is that Heather is in my Facebook group. She gets nurtured there. That's why she shows up on the morning show, right? She has done 7 out of 9 workshops. Okay. She's been to my retreat and gotten a roadmap. She's also in my monthly membership. Okay. So that's where she is. I know exactly if we go back to this building, I know exactly where she is in this building. Okay. So that's Heather. Now, this is where your offer ascension ladder comes in. Okay. So on mine, I got free stuff, the free community, right? Then we got the productivity membership and then the workshops. Then we got, you need a roadmap. So you either going to go through my course, you're going to come to the annual retreat, or you're going to do a one-on-one and get a roadmap, right? And then the next step is you need consulting. You have the roadmap, but you need me to walk alongside you as you execute it. Right? So that's the next step. So what we do with Heather is now I can have a conversation with Heather that is personalized messaging to let her know, hey, it's coming up on a year since you got that roadmap. Do you need a refresh? Right? So whether you need a refresh or not, your next step is advisory consulting. I need to walk alongside you with your roadmap. Okay? So this is how we're using this CRM system. We have a system that helps us to understand what are those funnels we need to be creating where it's a bunch of people and then less people. And then, okay, let me stop sharing that. Where it's a bunch of people and then it's less people. And then we finally got people buying from us. We don't even know what funnels to create unless we know what the pipeline looks like, right? Because in each part of the pipeline, the okay, go away, little thing. The funnel could look different. So I would love to know that this visual help you to understand the pipeline and how you're supposed to be using this CRM system. Because just because you know that somebody is in your group, if you don't know where they are in your pipeline, you cannot then personalize the messages to them that will sell them. Okay? If you're talking to everybody like they're on the same part of the pipeline, you're talking to them incorrectly, right? So yeah, you're going to learn more if you get that workshop, shaycannon.com/organic, and we'll talk more about that later, right? But you got to know how to talk to these people for the place they are in your pipeline. And to put your pipeline together in a way that is free flowing people to your highest offers, you got to know what pipes to put in place. Okay? Cool beans. So I'm going to start with Dr. Toya. Dr. Toya, what revelation did you have about the pipeline and the CRM system and how it can help you?
It was just confirmation that I need to do better.
But did you get a new understanding of, because, you know, as entrepreneurs, we got so much to do, right? It's ever free flowing list of things to do. And sometimes when we don't understand stuff, we don't give it the right priority. And then we're over here working hard on other stuff that when if we had the right priority, you wouldn't have to work so hard over here because it would be taken care of over there. Right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
I've been clear about it. Hence, I know, see, the thing is, I used to use Wix. I know people don't like Wix, but I used to use Wix, and Wix automatically like tagged. Well, if you set it up, it automatically tags everything and everybody, right? So I didn't really think about it because it was kind of automatic, right? I can go and say, okay, you did this, great. You did this, great. And then when I migrated, I didn't come over with that same like intentionality of setting it up. And it's like when you don't have it, thinking about now I have to go back and retroactively make it happen. So this was my revelation while you were talking. Okay, here we go. My revelation while you were talking, and this might not be good, was, you know what? Everybody that's already in the system is just going to be where they are. I'm not going to stress myself about trying to catch them up, but I'm going to put it in place for all of the new people that are coming in. That was my revelation.
Yeah. So you start where you are first so that people don't continue to leak, right? Then you start a project where you go back and try to recapture the other people, get them labeled right, get them in the right place in the pipeline, start their communications, right? So yeah, start now and then try to go, then set time in the calendar to start going backwards, right? Okay, cool. Dr. Tachi, do you now have a new understanding that you feel like is going to get you some type of results? Like what was a light bulb that went off for you?
Well, on a level, I'm always looking at the graphics. I was like, wow, she found a pipe that I was like,
And put
wow.
it together pipe
I
by
put
pipe.
it,
Did I
yes, I
did.
was like, look at this. That
That's
that,
why I
that
told you I was like, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna show y'all.
I was very impressed by that. I was like, oh, pipe. But also the thing is, even though I did the organic marketing workshop and I had that before, the pipe thing, the illustration just made it even clearer. Because the thing is, I can identify with clogged pipe literally because I had that whole situation where a tree rooted the pipe and messed everything up. So I had to replace it. But in that, I got to see through the camera what the hell was going on inside. So it was a direct representation of like what you showed. So it made me think of that yeah, sometimes the pipes get clogged if you're not paying attention to it and not putting what you need in there, they will get clogged and there will be bottleneck. So
Yes.
it was
And
very,
sometimes you're flowing along, but you're losing people along the way. So your pipe leaking. Yep, all of that.
yes.
Love it. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Cheryl, did you have a light bulb moment from the presentation? If so, what was it?
It was like Jed Clampett said, let's cut through the fur and get to the hide. It was like, yep, boom, 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 boom. All I could see was time saved. You know what I'm saying? Sales
Yeah.
increased, time saved.
Cool beans. That quote did it for me. It almost ended me, just so you know. All right. Dr. LaFera, did you have a light bulb moment from the visualization of the pipeline and the different pipes and how it works, especially versus a funnel? Because again, you spend a lot of money on marketing. So you've heard of funnels, you've heard of CRMs, but does this bring a level of clarity that maybe hit a light bulb for you?
Thank you very much, Shay, for, that introduction. But like, only that I need to do better, just like everybody else said. Like, I mean, yeah. But those were very nice images and stuff, and they inspired me to do better. Thank you.
Cool beans. You are welcome. Thank you, Dr. LaFera. All right, Debbie, what was your light bulb moment with these pipelines and this visual I painstakingly put together for you?
First of all, I love this presentation. I'm like, oh my God, she's speaking my language. This was amazing. And I thank you so much. Great job. But the funny thing is, as you're giving that presentation, my web guy wrote me a text. He said, I noticed that your video quiz doesn't collect an email and it only offers generic feedback. This is what I got while you're talking to me. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my
Wait, that's the whole purpose of the quiz, just to collect the
I know. I was like, oh my God. So this is hitting so many buttons. So I love the fact that you said that you said a lot of great things, but I told you I had thousands of emails, but these were just business cards I've collected. So it is not people I have gotten permission to put on my email list. So now I have to add that line. Is it okay for you to add you to my list, to my email list?
Or what you do is you send an email to them, right? You have a script where you send an email to them from your direct email. And in there is a link. And when they click the link, they're automatically signing up for something. You see what I'm saying? So that can come in different ways, Debbie. That could say, hey, I would love to put you on my email list where I can continue to give you value. Click here and sign up. Or that could look like, hey, I really think that this resource will help you. So you can use this link to go and get it. And the resource, of course, is a lead magnet. And so when they get the lead magnet and sign up for it, they're in your email marketing list legally. So you can do it that type of way.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool beans. All right. Shawana Kennedy of Kennedy Media. What was your light bulb moment in that presentation this mountain?
I ain't had no light bulb moment. I had forehead eyebrow touching moment. That's what I had. Okay. I'm going to say it for the record. Mine ain't no light bulb, nothing. If anything, the light bulbs was bursting. Pop, pop, pop. Because just another reminder of stuff that we know we need to have in place. Okay. I said it for the record.
All right. Shawana. Too funny. All right, we're about to go to Teray, but YouTube, I see you over there. I'm coming to you next. So go ahead and answer the question in the YouTube live chat for me. All right, Teray, what were you light bulb moment or moment?
Did Shawana take it personally?
Listen. Yeah, like I went over there.
I was like, why is everybody always picking on me? Right? You know, in that voice, why is everybody always picking on me? See?
Yeah. All right. So for me, the light bulb moment for me was that I need to categorize. I need to do a better job fine-tuning the categorization of every potential lead. So the videos that I do in my Facebook group are for my group, and that's my Mofu group. Some of them are Bofu because they already purchased my book. But as I prepare to go over to YouTube, that is a Tofu audience. With that said, whenever I'm talking to people, it's not the same message, and I have to recognize that. So my message is my message, right? But because it's a different audience every time, because of these pipelines, the message is different because it's a different pipeline, because each person is categorized differently. So every time I had got my nails done 2 weeks ago, and the nail technician was like, oh, so what do you do? She's Tofu. She's automatically Tofu. So I can't start spewing the same stuff that I talk about in my group.
No.
So that was the light bulb moment for me, because of the presentation, and I'm thinking in pipelines, that means that my message is different every time I talk to somebody, depending on who the person is. My message is not the same, because people are in pipelines. And the reason why people are in pipelines is because I'm talking to a different audience every time.
Yes.
So because I talk
the organic marketing workshop.
Of course I did. I memorized. That's
back.
all I talk about.
Yeah. So you got a whole worksheet planner, all of that. So just go back, because that's what that does. It tells you how to talk to the different people in the different places.
Right. And it's not just about marketing. It's about speaking. And because right now I'm not really, all I'm talking to is my group. But whenever I'm out in the street and people go, oh, what do you do? And I say, oh, I'm an author. I wrote a book. What is the book about? Now the next thing that comes out of my mouth can't be the same thing that I talk about in my group, because that's Mofu.
Yes.
And so and it's because of the pipeline. So that was my aha moment during the presentation.
Cool beans. I love it. Well, the whole time we've been talking, YouTube chat has been going, y'all. It's been going. So good morning to Keith. He said, you're right on my block. Talking about CRMs, okay? Dania said good morning. Chantilly said good morning. Let's see. And then Keith said, oh, Dry Buzz was over there. Good morning, Dry Buzz. Glow came in. Good morning. Glow says she's getting her emails. Okay, cool beans. Somebody named Air YouTube said active campaign to high level here. Don't quite know what that means, Air. Or at what point, what was I talking about when you talked about it? Maybe when I was telling people you can't just put people into their email marketing system, is illegal. All right, so Dania said, I learned that my pipes are clogged like a child's ears. I have been working in the wrong direction, so now I have a better understanding and I'll be in a better place moving forward. Dania, you need that workshop, shaycannon.com/organic. Let's see. Keith said it's like an office building and everyone has an office in different departments. Yeah, and everybody's on different floors, Keith. And what we know is the higher up the floor, the more prestige you have, right? So we want them to come up in floors, not just come around on the same floor. So yes, you got it. Chantilly said, I love those visuals, but I feel attacked by the clogged pipe. Dania said, my sentiments exactly. Then Chantilly said, it reminded me that I have to finish my new lead magnet and tighten up my follow-up. Yes, people, yes. We got to do all the things, right? But you don't get overwhelmed. What you do is you start where you are. Like my conversation with Dr. Toy. Start where you are. Don't worry about going back and capturing. Just set it up so that going forward, people are captured and they're flowing freely and you're not leaking, okay? Then take time to go back, okay? Because once you have it set up, then you can always hire a VA or somebody to go back and follow the same setup and get people in the setup that's already set up, okay? So start where you are. Another thing is, as you are prioritizing, right? Again, if you go back to the training we did on prioritization, you always start with the tasks that get you to the money the fastest. Okay, so we're always going to have a long to-do list, but what on the list gets us to the money the fastest? And then as we get those things off the list, we go back to the list and reprioritize, and then we go with the one that gets us to the money the fastest. When we complete that, we go back to the list, reprioritize, and we go with the one that gets us to the money the fastest. Don't worry about there's a whole bunch of stuff to do. Don't worry about you don't know how to do it all. Take one thing at a time and then learn how to do that, or hire somebody to do that while you focus on that. And when we get that complete, then we move on to the next thing. If you still need help, then you need to be in the membership, so I can help you with manage yourself within the time that you have. shaycannon.com/membership. Okay, I don't have all these offers for nothing, right? Every offer I give, every workshop I do, it all comes to the same central theme, to give you a good foundation so that your business can actually grow. Otherwise, your business is a pipeline that got a bunch of clogs and a bunch of leaks and a bunch of y'all seen pipes that are capped off and don't even go nowhere. I'm just saying, okay? So that is the whole purpose. That's why I'm here, to make it make sense so we can do all of that, right? All right. Did anybody want to say anything else? Did you need to see a visual again? What I will say is you will get a link to the PDF of that presentation in the show notes today. You can get the show notes one of two ways. Number one, you can sign up at shaycannon.com/show. When you sign up, what you'll get is a reminder in the mornings to jump on the YouTube live. And then in the afternoons, you will get a link to the show notes and a link to the replay, okay? Or you can get in the group, shaycannon.info/group, because there's a whole archive of all of the show notes in the group, okay? So even if you're signed up for the to get the show notes in your inbox, if you just want somewhere where there's a whole archive of them, starting from when we started doing them, that's in the group. Like if you missed a week and you're like, I jumped on the list, but I'm only getting future show notes, you can get old ones in the group. All right. Chantilly says, stop the links first. Got it. Yes. Stop the leaks first. Anybody have any questions or anything they would like to say. There are 2 blog posts I'm giving y'all from the past. Now, what you can do is if you're in the group, you can put that link of that blog post in there and find out where is the morning shows related to that blog post link. Okay. Because there's a lot of morning shows that are not yet on YouTube. I'm in tandem with going live every week. I'm putting another week from the group on YouTube. So I will eventually have all of them on there. But right now, some of them only live in the group. Okay. So, but you can use that link and find them because I always put in the caption a link to the blog. Okay. So shaycannon.com/funnel. If you want to talk about the funnels, shaycannon.com/selling, SELLING. If you want to talk about the cross sell, upsell, downsell, all of that. Okay. Let's see. We already talked about the show. Let's talk about the organic marketing workshop. If you know that's the only workshop you want to get, go to shaycannon.com/organic. Okay. If you know you need that workshop and some other workshops, then you need to go to the sale that ends this week. This sale ends this week. It was only for my anniversary month. So it ends this week. So you can get 2 for $97 or 3 for $147. Keep in mind, each workshop now is valued at, well, it's valued higher, but it's priced at $147 individually without this sale. Okay. So then you can go to shaycannon.com/work it. You can get the organic marketing and 1 more for $97, or you can get the organic marketing and 2 more for $147. Okay. And for those of you that have, I think it was only Shawana. Shawana, you need to tell me what other 2 workshops you want access to, because you bought 3 and you only did the live one that was last week. So let me know. All right. Last call for alcohol. Does anybody have any questions or want to say anything or give value add before we get out of here? Tomorrow, we're going to talk about CRM best practices. Because now that you understand it better, now we can progress to how to work it better. Dr. LaFera.
Can you go like into just a little bit of detail about the difference between like when you want to segment somebody versus like tagging them?
So tagging them helps with the segmentation. So how you segment is either going to be a list or a tag, right? So shout out to Chris L. Davis of Automation Bridge. He is an expert that once worked for Lead Pages and then worked for Active Campaign. And he went into detail. He actually used to be the one that trained everybody on how to use Active Campaign and the segmentation. So what he fusses at me about all the time is that I'm really only supposed to have like 1 list or 3 core lists, and everything else should be a tag. Well, I got 75 lists and I don't have that many tags. But now I at least understand how it's supposed to go. So when I revamp my system, it can work. So it just depends on what email marketing platform you're using and what is the difference between a list and a tag, right? But how it's supposed to happen is you got 1 list that has like everybody, is what he says. Then I've heard people say you get 3 lists. You got 1 that's just leads, 1 that is, customers, and then 1 that's past customers. Okay, so that's the list. The tags is everything else. Are they in? Did they come through the form and join the list or the group? Did they come through the form and get this lead magnet? How many lead magnets? There should be a tag for each lead magnet. Workshops, there should be a tag for each workshop. Whatever other offers you have, there should be a tag. So for everything they've done that represents Tofu, Mofu, and Bofu, there should be a tag, right? So that's how I know that Heather has gotten 7 out of 9 workshops, right? There are 7 tags in there, and I know I have 9 workshops available, right? So that's just one of the ways. But all I had to do was go in and look at her contact, and I saw all the tags and all the lists. And so now I can talk to just the people on this tag or just the people on this list. Does that make sense, Dr. LaFera?
It does. Yeah.
So you know what? Go to Shay. So that's another blog posts y'all need access to. Let me see. Is it tag or tags though? Let me see. Tag. Yeah, it's tag. So there you go. Because we had a whole week on email segmentation where we talked about it. So that should be another perspective for you guys. YouTube over here going crazy. Let's see. Key said, oh no, let me see, where is it? Oh, Dania said, thanks again as always. Keith said, have a great day, everybody. Dania said, you too, Keith. All right. Last call for alcohol. Anybody else?
You think you can start from the beginning and go through this again?
I sure can. It's called a replay. And if you're signed up, it'll come right to your inbox. Otherwise, it is on YouTube.
Those big letters. Wake up. It's time for the morning show. Oh,
Listen,
thank you, Jay. Hey, what I wanted to
no
say was
problem.
thank you.
No
It was
problem.
eye-opening. It was very direct, and
Yeah.
it was good. Thank
Yeah, I saw this as an opportunity to bring together a bunch of stuff that we've talked about on its own and how it connects, right? Because sometimes we're so focused on parts, and then when we talk about the connection, we gloss over it because we assume because we talked about the parts that you understand. But sometimes we got to come back and talk about how those parts come together and talk about a focus on that so that people understand what they've been learning and why. So yeah, Dr. LaFera said it was like a cold shower. Whatever, Dr. LaFera. Well, all right, guys, the studio is closing. Have a great day. We're closing it in 5, 4, 3,